Check 1, check 2. Oh man, I hope it's day 16 because that's what I think it is. Maybe it's day 7. No, I think it's day 16. I think today's day 16. No, I'm gonna rip. If it's not day 16, then whoops. Hi, and thanks for tuning in. This is the Learn with John Eick podcast. Got the little woo-woo set up, and I'm gonna drive off to work. I'm heading to work on day 16 of the 22-23 school year. My name's John Eick. If you're just tuning in for the first time, I'm not sure what I'm doing, so, don't ask. I think what I'm doing is I'm driving to school 180 days for 180 days of instruction, and I'm just going to riff on my way to work. Like, what's happening in school today? Like, the air is starting to turn just a little bit. It's starting to get a little cooler and crisper, as we're heading into day 16 of the year. Day 16, I think it's day 16. I was thinking to myself as I got into the car, is it day 16 or day 17? I really got to keep a calendar or something if I'm going to do this 180 days. But let's pretend it's day 16 because that's what I think it is. It's day 16. It's a Thursday. I'm heading in. You know that Thursday referrals are always higher than on Mondays. And the theory behind that is that, like on Monday, you're like, hey, it's Monday, I'm well rested, we got the whole week ahead of us, let's work it out. On Tuesday, we're like, hey, come on now, I warned you yesterday. I think on Wednesday, we have an early release day, so you're like, well, it's a short day, we're just gonna get through. But Thursday, I think we're fed up. We're like, that's it, I'm done. And on Friday, it's like, well, it's Friday, let's get on to the weekend, which kind of justifies the 4-day work week. We back that up, and your Thursday will be Friday. Maybe there'll be no referrals. I don't know. That's not what I came to riff about today. What I was thinking about riffing about as I got into my car was the dread that I'm feeling about what lies ahead of me. And by dread, come on, right? It ain't that hard. But I'm on the administrative team at my school, and, we get the little text chain going. I don't know if you've got that in your team where you work, but, we text each other in the morning when we're like, hey, oh, heads up, I got this thing, or, oh, hey, heads up, I'm running late. We got the text this morning, happens a couple of times a week. Oh, hey, so-and-so, can't make it till chicka, so, hey, can somebody work the crossing guard station in the parking lot? And, these are like administrators who, have been school teachers for a long time, got their administrative credential, they're good people, leading good stuff. They're, they kind of, take the hard parent phone calls, work, put on some hard stuff during the day. But the funniest part of the reality of their job is that, for whatever reason, we've decided, this is who should be in the parking lot in the morning. And so you got these, you got the principal out there, the vice principal out there, the director of operations, the chief business officer, you got the executive director, superintendent, out there in the parking lot. We got our facilities manager out there in the parking lot. It's funny. I know a lot of schools have teachers have bus duty in the morning. We don't really do that at our school. Teachers got enough on their plate. So I think admin and a lot of our instructional aides kind of team in the parking lot. But I gotta tell you, hey, it's cool. It's cool to smile and wave at the families because there's 98% awesomeness. Hey, good morning. Open up a car door. Good morning, little Johnny and Susie. Come on out, get to school. Let's have a great day. There's always the opportunity to say to a parent, oh, hey, you had that one question. Here's the answer. Have a great day. But there is 2%, and I'm not complaining, but there's 2% of the people that I go, man, you really shouldn't be probably driving a car in a school zone. I don't think, it's wild. It is wild, right? It is wild because I think what happens is people are trying to get to work, and they gotta get to school, and they gotta drop off their kid, and they're running late for one or the other or both, right? I'm late for work, my kid's still 15 minutes early. I'm gonna drive like a maniac because I gotta get to work, and I'm frustrated, and my amygdala is fired, and I'm weaving in and out of the cones, and I'm honking the horn, and I think I don't realize that everyone else around me is not experiencing the same thing I am. And you could see it on the face. You could see that look, and you're like, that's a scary look, because there's little kids all over the place. There's 5-year-olds trying to get to school. 5-year-olds aren't that smart, They might step off a curb. So I'm out there in my little yellow vest, waving people down, and I try to get my amygdala not fire, because when I see, a 5-year-old in danger, then I get I get riled up. It is a wild confluence of humanity, the school parking lot. And I don't know, if having all the admin out there makes it better, maybe makes it worse. I I don't know if having more personnel out there makes it better, because I see a lot of people not behaving well. So really, we're not doing our job. But on the flip side, I'm terrified to leave the place unmanned, because it just looks like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, like just cars on curbs and people cutting across and honking at each other. I think like having somebody out there is the right idea. However, I look at other professions, other professional professions, is that a thing? Like credential type people, like, we always compare like, teaching profession to the nursing profession, or the doctors or lawyers, or, because that's, I guess, the only jobs we all, have seen before that we can compare ourselves to. You go, hey, are the nurses, are they out in the hospital parking lot guiding traffic? I don't think that's their job, right? I think they're just doing their job, right? And so I go, well, so should we hire parking lot attendants? Do we need parking lot attendants? I don't know, but I do know this: if you've worked at a school, and I've worked at high school, I've worked at elementary school, I've done the whole K-12. If you've worked at a school in the K-12, regardless of what side of the equation you're on, parents dropping off kids or kids driving themselves, the parking lot, the closer you come to the bell, the crazier it gets, and the more you're like, oh goodness, we are just one bad decision away from something really bad happening. And with that backdrop in mind, you would think everybody would be on edge, like, hey, we don't want anything bad to happen. We don't want anybody to get hurt out here. But that's like not what happens. What happens is, if you go, hey, whoa, slow down, every once in a while, somebody will like roll down a window and tell you what you can go do. And you're like, wow, you're on a school campus with people out in the parking lot who are just trying to make things safer and better, and you are so fired and so triggered up that you want to. Now, it doesn't happen very often at my space, but it does happen that I see people driving, in ways that I think they wouldn't want other people to drive around their children. I guess that's the riff, right? Is that like people do for themselves what they wouldn't want done to them, right? People are like, hey, I'm gonna drive crazy, but don't you drive crazy around my kid, right? And I don't blame anybody, I don't judge anybody, but I am like, it is a fascinating thing to watch. If you ever want to grab a bucket of popcorn and just see something kind of crazy, go out to a school parking lot in the morning and just sit and just watch and observe. Because I know typically you're going to a school parking lot, because you're working at the school, or you're dropping off a kid at the school, or you're picking up a kid at the school, but like, do this, like, go to a school one day where you're not doing one of those things, and just be an observer. Like, be like, what is happening here? And what should be happening? And what could we do to fix it? Because I've done it, man. I've done traffic studies and the whole deal, and I've built websites, for my school that train people with videos on how to get where they're going and do what they should be doing. And I gotta tell you, man, I've not found this solution for human behavior when they get behind the wheel of the car. Hey, man, I'm coming up on my destination right now. I'm gonna be going out into the parking lot. I think I'm gonna be wearing a yellow vest, holding a little stop sign, working the crossing guard because my facilities manager's out. It is a wild part of the gig. Is working in the school parking lot. I think I just want to riff on it because I wanted to say out loud what I felt a little dread about as I received that text message. But on the flip side, I also tell you, there's something cool being in the parking lot wearing the yellow vest as the superintendent, because what happens is people make eye contact and smile and be like, man, look at you, Dr. Eick out there waving cars. We get it. We know who you are, and we love it. So I love that. I love that, making connections with families in such a positive way, opening car doors, welcoming kids to school. Yeah, it's not totally my job to do. I could dish it off to somebody else, but I kind of dig doing it. But that one part of it, that like, oh my gosh, watching people behave unsafely, that scares me a little bit. All right, hey, I'm heading in right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for checking this whole show out. I'm digging it. I'm loving some of the feedback. You can go to my website, learnwithjohneick.com. You can hit me on the Twitters at John_Eick. Tell me what you want me to riff on, and I'll drop your nugget here on the show, and we'll just talk about what you want to talk about, because I'm having fun. Clearly, I can just like conscious stream endlessly, and it's a good thing my commute is short. I appreciate you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day 16 of your school year. Thanks for listening. And as always, no, that's not it. I always say as always. That's a different podcast. It's my school podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.